Yes. Oh my gosh, that was so epic. I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just... So here we are, back with the real supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
I'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready.
Nope. Yep. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-study production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
He just used a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3. Ballapalooza.
It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here. Happy November, everybody. Wow.
November 1st already.
No, well, I don't.
Only
know.
2 months left in 2020.
I know. We're so close, everybody. We have almost made it. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully everyone had a good and socially distant Halloween. We just kind of hung out at the house. We actually locked ourselves in the basement, turned off all the lights, pulled all the blinds.
Well, we set things up. We got like the media kind of entertainment thing going down in the basement again. So we got that all cleaned up. And we've been working on a kitchen renovation in the basement too. So yeah, we just spent some time down there.
So
look at that, Rich Rebuilds. Rich Rebuilds is already
with the $5 super chat watch rebuilds. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I saw you had a comment there at the top about because of the time change, our dogs are going to be hungry earlier tonight. So yeah, we're probably going to have a shorter stream tonight, probably just about an hour or so.
Yeah.
If we can even talk for that long, so we'll see.
I mean, yeah, I think let's just get right into the news. There's not a whole lot. I'm going to preface that, so that'll actually give us some good question and answer time.
Yeah.
So we dig that. We got a new camera up here. This camera and this camera actually now are fixed in the studio. No longer do I need to keep switching out the cameras, so that is super, super nice. Huge shout out to Abstract Ocean for that. Love you guys. But let's go ahead and jump right into the news and get on with it. Biggest thing, I know it doesn't seem like that big.
Really big.
Well, it is really big. Full self-driving is now $10,000.
Yikes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they really did raise the price.
They did.
We've been buying cars, if we mentioned, we bought it on like 11 cars have had full self-driving or some form of enhanced autopilot over the last 4 years. And wow, they bumped the price up to $10,000. We never paid that much. I think the least we paid was maybe $7,000, and then some of them got it for $8,000 or $9,000. But wow, $10,000, they keep pushing it up there. So they are adding new features, but I just think that that's going to slow down some of the purchases. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we talked about this in a video earlier in the week, so we won't go too much into that. But yeah, they did raise the price on Thursday.
Yeah, so I mean, that happened, and it's a doozy. I actually haven't even looked at the website to actually confirm this.
Yeah, I saw that.
I got a lot of text messages from friends that are like, what the heck? And I even talked to my parents about it the other day. Let's look. This is the Model 3.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It went up on Thursday. And then the autopilot
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll just stick with the range. We'll just jump to autopilot. Bam, $10,000. Oof. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and as we talked about in the video last week, though, Elon had mentioned again that they are going to be bringing out some sort of subscription option. Still no clue on how much it's going to cost and whether there's going to be any minimum contract terms or what will be required for people who need hardware upgrades. So we'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll see, but I'm sure they'll be coming in the coming months. But that's a large chunk of change, $10,000 on a car.
I mean, when you look
software.
at this, the cheapest Model 3, mind you, that you can make right now is $38,000. So you're basically paying an extra 25% of the car price for software. Kind of blows my mind a little bit. But that being said, full self-driving beta is pretty awesome. We've been seeing a lot of footage. A lot of people, a lot of friends out in California have been sending us some. Tesla Tino is here in chat. Welcome, said, I'm loving the new FSD beta. It's nuts.
Yeah.
We haven't experienced it yet. We've watched
yet.
a ton of the videos and seen a bunch of clips that people have sent. And it sounds like it's making a lot of really, really good progress. And they've already been issuing updates. There's now, it'll slow down for speed bumps now. Before, it would just go, full speed. Saw some of those videos. And then there's also that new UI that looks very familiar on, the Cybertruck. I love the fact I actually tweeted it out. I'll go ahead and pull it up while we're talking.
Yeah, that was cool on the Model S. You showed that. And then we saw it on the Model 3 videos as well. But basically, when you put it into the full self-driving mode, it will kind of zoom in on the full self-driving visualization, and it kind of gets rid of whatever other apps you might have on that instrument cluster on the Model S or the X.
Exactly.
And kind of the same way on the S or on the 3 and Y, they'll just make it bigger.
Exactly.
So that's a cool feature, though.
Yeah, so here, it was from Tesla owners, Silicon Valley. They tweeted this out. And I just love this. When you put it in FSD, everything else just disappears. And this is all you see. It makes everything really large. Absolutely love that. So
and you don't need, and
I
you don't
can't
need,
wait for that on the S.
Yeah, so you don't need the navigation anymore because it's already navigating itself. And also in an S and an X, you already have the navigation on the main console as well. So
exactly.
I can see getting rid of that. And energy graph, you can always pull that off on the main screen as well.
Yeah, so I mean, all of those experiencing FSD beta right now, just know
we're very jealous.
Very, very jealous.
And if
the world was in a better spot,
exactly, I was going to say this.
We would already be out in California playing with us.
Yeah.
Given the situation, it's not probably the best idea to be taking unnecessary trips like that. Yeah.
But I'll say though, if anybody happens to have it
in Denver area
or drives out to Colorado, we'd be happy to see you. Yeah, we'll meet you up at one of the superchargers or something. Yeah.
And we have gifts.
Oh yeah, we got gifts. But yeah, we really cool feedback.
But I don't know. I really want to play with that and check it out. Everything I've seen has been awesome. So that, I guess, is another big thing. Beside, I guess it kind of goes with FSD being 10K, is what they're doing with that beta. It looks amazing. I love the new UI features and everything. So I just want to see all that pushed out. So maybe that's like a sneak peek of V11.
Yeah, I think so, and hopefully that's coming by the end of the year. But it's just kind of weird how they bumped the price up and they haven't actually released the software yet. It would have been nice if they would have let everybody, get locked in at the cheaper price before they actually,
showed what it could really do.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Now, I see Mr. Super Chat, Watch Rebuilds channel. Thank you for another $5 super chat.
Wow.
It said, "How is your traffic light green light indicator working out?"
It was working pretty well because we were out on the Y today.
I keep it on to chime. That way, like, if I'm at a stoplight and I'm first in line, it'll chime at me.
Yeah.
And
if I'm not there to tell him go,
yeah,
then it'll ding. But usually I'm pretty good. Right about the same time I say go, the car dings.
Yeah. So I mean, so far it's been working out really well. FSD would be really nice, though. I could give Tesla a lot of really good mileage.
Yeah.
We had snow last week. We could have tried it out in that. Probably wouldn't have worked. At least not well, but it would have been interesting to see what would have happened. Now, I will say, some of these videos I'm seeing, very sketchy. Like, they're doing some sketchy stuff.
Like not safe or?
Not safe.
Yeah.
Not really paying attention, very preoccupied. And so I now can understand why Tesla did not want anyone live streaming the FSD beta, because I think a lot of people would be busy talking with chat and everything instead of focusing on driving, because there have been on several of these videos I've seen. We watched one the other day where, like, the car, if it wouldn't have been taken over, it would have hit something.
Ran right into a car parked there on the side of the road.
I'm hopeful that people are just being safe with it, and we are eagerly looking forward to getting this.
The cool thing is, I haven't heard about any accidents yet. So I
haven't either.
So I guess they're doing a good enough job, or if they aren't, they're not bringing it up. So they don't don't want it to be known that they screwed up.
Yep. Jonathan, thank you for the $5 super chat. It said, "What's up, guys? I've been watching your videos like crazy because I'm about to buy my very first Tesla. Thanks for all the great information. Congrats on the Tesla. Have you decided on a model?" Always a great question. But if you have any questions, wow, sorry, that was loud. If you have any questions, feel free, email us. Happy to help out any way we can if you have any questions or anything like that. But congrats again. And welcome to the Tesla fam. Happy to have you here. Next up. So this may or may not be like super real, but the regen option, we have it in all of our cars. Supposedly the new cars being delivered, at least it's been in a few cases, didn't have that regen option where you can set it to standard or low.
Yeah, and that's odd because they've always had, or maybe they had different options in the past, but they've had that standard low option for many years, and it's odd that they would take that away and only on new options. So is it intentional, or is it a software feature that, that they need to update the software on new cars because they have a newer battery?
Yeah.
We don't know yet, but basically, is anybody here in chat, are you guys missing the regen option to change it down to low or back up to standard?
Yeah, so I believe it's under driving, correct?
Yeah, and for those who don't know, basically you can slightly lower the regen so that if you're not used to it, or if you're on icy roads or something like that, you can make it so that when you take your foot off the accelerator, it won't necessarily kick in the regeneration as strong to send that energy back into the battery.
Yeah, so I'm just looking up this article real quick. This was actually posted on Inside EVs. You can see where it says low and standard right here. That's now gone under the driving profile.
But again, just for like new cars just delivered recently. So it's like, is it intentional? We don't know yet.
Yeah,
but
so
it's odd that they haven't removed it from old cars. But I guess, you know what? A lot of people would be complaining if they took that option away. We typically leave it on standard, but every once in a while, if we do have like some really icy roads or something, I will, put it down on low just in case.
Exactly. It's a great idea to do that. Real quick, I see Tesla Tino said I clearly explained it in my last video. How we need to be in full control of the car. Doing a live stream would be a mistake. Yes, and I really appreciate you making that a big point. Really do appreciate that. And then Jonathan, that did the $5 super chat earlier, said he is getting a long range. Well, congratulations.
Y or?
3 or Y, yeah.
Yeah.
Either way,
congratulations.
Well, actually, I guess it could be an SRX.
Oh, yeah.
I think the white balance is off on this camera. I think I need to play with that because here it looks a little yellow.
It looks like I had a little too
Here
much
it looks
sun.
pretty white.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to fix that for next time. It's a new camera. What can I say? But, yeah. I just don't know why they are removing it if they truly are removing the regen option.
Yeah.
So,
but also on like news, Consumer Reports did a little article, and they were saying how they liked GM's Super Cruise available on some of the Cadillac models.
Yeah.
They said it was way better than Tesla's autopilot. But if you look at all the individual scores that they had on that, it was really weird because it's like Tesla, I think, had the best features, but they liked that the GM Super Cruise had like the driver monitoring system. And I guess that makes it safer, but that doesn't, to me as a consumer, it's not necessarily better because if you have a good enough, it's not there yet, but once you do get a good enough autopilot system, do you need that as, driving monitoring system as much? I don't know.
Exactly. And so I'll take this link and drop it into chat real quick. Give me 1 sec. I just need to copy this over. LOL. And then we can talk about it. But I pulled it up here so that we can all kind of talk about it together because I just have a few things I would like to say about this and that we can all chat about. Let me... Oh, drop this into chat. Wow, sorry. Link's not working.
Yeah, but one thing about this feature, though, with GM Super Cruise is it's very limited as where it's can be. I think it's like 5% of roads in the United States. And, that's still good. It basically can do the interstates, but that's about it. Whereas Tesla, it can do the interstates on regular autopilot, but now they're coming out with this full self-driving. It can really be used anywhere. And regular autopilot, navigate on autopilot, can use on almost any highway.
Yeah, so here's how they kind of did their testing: capability and performance, automatic emergency braking, etc., etc. I wanted to get into this. So capabilities and performance, Tesla ranked the highest. I agree with that.
And this was before the full self-driving beta came out.
Exactly.
So if they were to test it again, and it was, it would be even, probably a 10 out there with performance and capabilities.
Yeah. Now, keeping the driver engaged, Tesla actually scored a 3 out of 10. So basically, the bottom. Now, going over this, it complained how if you tried to steer around a pothole,
with Tesla Autopilot, it will disable.
Close your ears, everybody.
Oh, was there a super chat?
Yeah, Watch Rebuilds channel just donated $100.
What? 100?
So
seriously?
I hope it goes backwards.
Whoa!
Okay.
Thank you. And here we are.
Here we are.
Thank you very much, Watch Rebuild.
Yeah.
I warned Eric. I said if something happens, we're gonna do that. And there we go. It took me a while, but thanks a lot. Wow, that'll help.
And you got the dogs.
That might help with our next topic after we talk with the finish talking about this. But the dogs always have to come and check this out.
Now I get to clean all that up. Anyway, Watch Rebuild channel. Thank you so much for the $100. Holy crap. Said the regen difference is a big difference because on low doesn't turn the brake lights on, but on high regen it does turn the brake lights on. Is on my Model S. Yeah, and so that's another good reason to always have that. Yeah, sorry. My ear. Don't let them eat that.
Yeah,
holy crap.
But anyways, I mean, it would be cool to see in the future though. Once Tesla's full self-driving is out of beta, I mean, it will. But they're not going to have that driver engagement or the driver monitoring system, at least not with the S and X, the older ones. So it'll be interesting if they have to go back and retrofit those cars to include like another camera or some additional sensors. Because right now the 3 and the Y have a cabin-facing sensor or a camera, but it's not enough that can focus on the eyes, and it's not infrared, so it won't work in the dark or if you're wearing sunglasses. So it'll be interesting to see what Tesla can do to bump up those scores in these other categories.
Mm-hmm. Huge thank you, though, Rich. Really appreciate everything. Watch Rebuild's channel. It's not actually Rich, guys. Just FYI.
Yeah.
But back to this. So they complain that if you try to steer a Tesla around a pothole, it will disengage. The system will resist unless the driver applies a significant amount of torque to the steering wheel, after which the system will abruptly shut off, leaving the driver in control. To me, I don't see that as a bad thing because the car wants to make sure that you really do want to take over control and you're not just like resting your hand heavily or something. Because you don't want it to just disengage too easily. I mean, I guess there's a pro and a con. But also just like, I don't really agree with some of their other complaints. They did say the camera-based monitoring system worked really well, which I agree with. But Teslas now have an interior cabin camera for 3 and Y, soon for S and X. It's got to be soon. So I'm sure they can maybe use that camera.
For something, but again,
to
it
help
doesn't
monitor
But it
eyes?
doesn't have the infrared, so it's not going to work as night, and
Oh,
it doesn't.
okay.
And it doesn't work through like sunglasses and stuff like that.
Okay,
So
good to know.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the same type of camera that they have in the Cadillac.
Yeah. So I just like some of this stuff, I just like don't fully agree with them, but we'll run through the other ones just real quick. Ease of use. Tesla scored top of its, I don't know, what are these, like 12
category,
or 14? But it was only a 7 out of 10. So whatever that, take it with how you want. Clear when safe to use.
That's
Tesla scored a 2 out of 10.
I can't believe that, because there's an icon, and whenever the icon shows up, it's safe to use.
Exactly.
That you can turn it on.
And
you can't turn it on unless that's there.
Exactly. And I think the reason they gave Super Cruise an 8 out of 10 is because it's only available on like very few roads. It's really, they don't even tell you when it's available, like how many roads it's available on, because it's so pathetic. It only works on roads that Cadillac has pre-mapped and like gotten all the data on and everything. So it's very, very limited. Whereas Tesla and some of these others can kind of just do vision and be far more active. So it is what it is. Unresponsive driver category. Tesla ranked mid at a 6 out of 10. Again, they gave it to Super Cruise. So there's that. But basically, Super Cruise for Cadillac came in at 69, Tesla at 57, and then everybody else kind of fell into their place. But I guess I have some rebuttals to some of this.
And, we haven't personally used this because it is available on such few cars. I think there's only like
we used
one
an
model.
early version of Super Cruise
a couple
when
years
I
ago,
tested out a car.
Yeah, but it's only offered on like one model, I think, now, and so we haven't had the chance. But yeah, we are very used to autopilot. We've had it since the beginning. We had autopilot 1 on the first Tesla, and we had autopilot 2. We've had autopilot 2.5 and autopilot 3 cars, and we've had full self-driving on almost all of those. And we've been able to see it since late 2016, early 2017. As they keep adding those features, it's growing a lot. It is so much better than it was 3 years ago. It still has ways to go, but I'm just amazed that they rated Super Cruise so much better when it seems so limited to me.
And maybe that's kind of what they were going for, is something that is limited, but it sounds like, maybe, take this with a grain of salt, Consumer Reports, maybe they're sponsored by GM.
No, they don't get any.
They don't get any money?
No,
How do they run?
That's the whole thing about Consumer Reports. It's just like subscription fees and stuff like that. They don't get any.
I don't pay subscription
They don't
fees.
have any advertisers or anything. That's the whole thing about Consumer Reports.
So maybe there's inside trading.
Nah,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
But it just seems like they were very favorable toward Cadillac, and I think some of the things they called out Tesla on, I actually think are pretty good positives. I'm actually looking for this Super Cruise map.
I saw one, and it was basically the interstate.
Okay, I'm on Cadillac's website right now. It says 6 million miles have been driven with Cadillac customers with Super Cruise.
Isn't it like almost a billion less than
It's
on
like
a
almost
Tesla?
a billion on Tesla.
Yeah.
So we have that. I'm trying to find the map though, because okay, here's the map.
It's basically
This is where you can use it.
interstates for the most part.
That's it. Any one of those maps. Originally there were 130,000 miles on highways, and now there's some newly added highways, but you can only use it on highways.
And
So it's very limited. Now, it might work really, really well on those highways. I have not been able to test it myself, but the fact that it's so limited is kind of a bummer. I'm just looking at all this
and
confetti.
Navigate on
I gotta clean all
Autopilot
this
has
up.
been out for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and it works great on highways too.
Exactly.
But you have all those other autopilot features that work on other non-interstate highways. So
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna jump off of that.
Yeah, we talked a
rant
lot.
for a few
Yeah.
minutes. Sorry about that, but
we should try it out one of these days.
we'll go try it out.
Get a test drive and.
But at the same point, I think Tesla's is superior. Not because I'm a Tesla fanboy. I just think Tesla's is superior. Oh, don't eat that. Don't eat that. I just think Tesla's is superior because it can work in far more cases than just pre-mapped highways. Cadillac will basically never be able to pre-map all the roads in the U.S.
Yeah.
You need to be able to have a vision system like Tesla that can read the situation and react accordingly. John, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said,
Thanks,
I actually
John.
went from a Cadillac XT5 to a Tesla. Awesome. Did you ever try out Cadillac Super Cruise by chance? I don't know if it was on that.
Yeah, it's on
I don't
such
know.
few models. I don't know if it's on that one, but yeah.
But if you did, let me know how you feel about it. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of it on the Cadillac Super Cruise rant. Sorry about that. Just wanted to kind of let you guys know how I feel about it without having to make a whole nother video. Next up, we have some big news for the MCU2 fans out there that have done that upgrade.
Yeah, so basically, as many of you know, we got our MCU in the S100D Model S. Well, I already said S100D. We got it upgraded to the MCU2 back in June, but at the time we knew that they were not going to be including a digital tuner, and so we would lose access to AM, FM, and XM radio. And we knew that, and a lot of those channels are available via the TuneIn streaming service. Some of them aren't, and a lot of people were still missing out on like FM and XM. AM won't be available with the digital tuner, but Tesla has announced now that they will be offering a tuner upgrade, and they will be installing that digital tuner for anybody who has the MCU2 that would like to have that. It is available at additional cost. It's going to be about $500 US, and they've announced it will be available in Europe as well, about a similar price. But $500 is a little steep to me.
That's a lot of money
I know
for
a lot of people,
an FM radio.
Yeah, a lot of people say, I've never listened to the radio since owning a Tesla, but I listen to a lot of like talk radio, local talk radio that's not available on Tesla's streaming service like TuneIn. And it used to be on TuneIn years ago. It wasn't as great of a quality, but it used to be there. And then a few years back, a lot of stations moved from TuneIn over to like radio.com and iHeartRadio. And so I'm like, I don't know if I would get that. Originally back in June, we were saying, oh yeah, we would get the tuner. But at $500,
$500, I think I'll pass.
You can buy a lot with $500, and the price breakdown is probably about $250 for labor, $250 for the parts. But it's really just a tuner they have to pop in, and you know it's hard to get to, so it does take a little bit of time, and that's why labor is probably a little high. It might take an hour and a half to do that. But I don't know if we're going to get that upgrade after all, especially if we're not going to keep that Tesla Model S. We don't know. We might be upgrading to the Plaid version sometime in 2021.
Yeah, so I mean, being that we already have the reservation in for the Plaid, and that's probably about a year or so out, I just don't see the need necessarily, especially with the current situation. The S really isn't
working
driven
from
a lot.
home. Yeah, so I used to drive every day.
Yeah,
and now I'm working from home. I don't drive it but a couple times a week, and so it's like, yeah, I would like to have the radio, but for a couple days a week, I don't know if that's worth $500.
Exactly. Now, if this was $500 added to when we got the MCU upgrade, I probably would have said, just do it.
Yeah, back then. But now
since it's like a different thing, I probably wouldn't do it. Now, if I was upgrading now, I probably would do it at the same time.
And that's another thing Tesla mentions. If you go to tesla.com/support/infotainment, you can see it. And there's a few frequently asked questions. And they say there is no price discount if you get it done when you do the MCU upgrade or if you get it done later. It's basically that MCU upgrade is going to be like $2,500 if you get the new screen, or it's slightly less if you don't get the new screen. But if you want to get that radio tuner upgrade, it's $500 whether you do it then or whether you do it at a different date. So you're not getting any discount for doing them both.
Exactly, which it would be kind of nice if they would do some kind of discount for that.
Yeah.
But I guess it is what it is. Real quick, let's catch up on some super chats.
But we might do a poll on that. I think we might do a poll on that just to
There'll
see
be one on Twitter.
How many of you guys think would you get it done? Should we get it done? And so we'll still consider it. We're not eliminating that possibility. But
so decide how we spend our money.
Yeah.
Basically is where we're going.
Well, fortunately, we have an extra $100 now. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Watch Rebuild Channel.
Well, plus $2, plus $4.99.
Real quick, we have a $1 super chat from Rhonda.
And another $1.
Thank you so much. And then we have another $2 from John saying AM radio stations on HD2 FM.
Yeah. So some of them are like
I didn't know that.
So that's a good thing right there. But yeah. So we definitely would still consider it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just. Given the current situation, I just don't think that $500 would be the best
investment,
on that. Just because it's not really driven that often right now, and also we're hoping to get the Plaid S next year. But I guess we will have to see how that goes. And then I guess we'll just go ahead and round out the news with a solar update.
Yeah, so we had a pretty good week. It started off kind of bad, and last week kind of fizzled out because we had some snow on Sunday. It was expected we'd get like 14 inches of snow. We only got like 4 or 5, so it wasn't nearly as bad, but it was really cold. I mean, it was like below zero temperatures and stuff like that. And so we had a few inches of snow, stuck to our panels for a couple of days, and I cleared some of it off, but basically on Monday, we only generated a few kilowatt hours, and then, kind of melted off on Tuesday, but by Wednesday, we were back up to full production for this time of the year, and we were generating really close to 77 kilowatt hours every day for the rest of the week, going down just slightly. Every day we lose a couple minutes of daylight, and now that the sun is, further south and lower in the sky, we are losing the sunlight pretty early on. Yesterday it was 4:30 in the afternoon, just because we have mountains just to the west of us. But today, with the daylight savings time ending, we were losing our direct sunlight at about 3:30. So our solar dropped to almost zero production. Then we still get less than a kilowatt, but it's pretty low. But we had a pretty good week overall.
Yeah.
So we still had a surplus for the week, just barely, from what we took from the grid. We took 189 kilowatt hours from the grid, but we sent 191 back, so we offset all of our usage there. And for the household for the week, it was actually pretty low with only 396 kilowatt hours. But for the year overall, we're still doing great. We still have not paid an electric bill since February. We've had a surplus since March of this year, and it continues into I guess all through October. So hopefully, I don't think we're going to be able to continue that streak through November, but we'll see. But the good thing is we still have like over 5,633 kilowatt hours saved up with our electric company. So we could pretty much go another 3 or 4 months with absolutely zero production, and we would not have an electric bill, and that would get us into March of next year. So, we're still on track. It's doing great.
Yeah, and so that X surplus that he mentioned is actually this down here are 2 grid. Here, let's zoom in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And this, again, with our utility, they allow us to roll over our credits. A lot of people, if you're in California or some other states, you might have to do a true up every year, and any overproduction, they pay you back for it, but it's reset to zero. With us, our electric company lets us roll over those credits indefinitely. And so we basically, if we do a lot of generation in the summer, that can cover our lower generation in the winter. In the summer months, we're generating up to 145 kilowatt hours a day. Now that we're in, mid or beginning of November, we're generating about 75 kilowatt hours a day. When we get lower into December, it's probably going to be lower to 50.
Yeah.
So a big drop from what we were generating in summer. And so that might not be able to offset all of our household usage, but luckily we have those credits banked up that we can use.
Yep.
Another thing, though, we did have another slight update with our
Excel.
We have been complaining since May that our electric company is providing dirty power to us, and it causes problems on warmer days. Well, they were supposed to come out 3 weeks ago and install a new transformer for us. They never showed. No call, no show. But some guys showed up on Wednesday this week. 3 huge Excel trucks showed up, and I think it was at least 6 guys got out, and they were all walking around looking at the poles for like 20-something minutes, and they looked at a couple different poles. One leads to our house, one that's out at the street, and then they left. So, we still don't have a new transformer. I think what happened is back in March, Excel came out here with a big hydrovac, and they dug holes to put in a new pole for us, and then they left an empty hole there for a few days, and they came back a few weeks later and filled it in, and we never got a new pole. But they put tags on the pole saying that the pole needs to be replaced because there's big crack down the center of it. And we had a storm in June that knocked over pretty much every other pole in our neighborhood except for the one that we want to have replaced. So I'm thinking that the guys showed up on Wednesday and was like, hey, we can't install a new transformer because they need to get their pole replaced. So I did see a hydrovac in the neighborhood, and it was parked close to the house for 20 minutes. I was hoping they were gonna dig that hole back out, and basically that's what they use with water, kind of like a water cannon to spray into the dirt and then suck all that back out, so they can really easily dig straight down for a telephone or a power pole and stick it right in. But unfortunately, they left. So hopefully we'll see some progress on that this coming week.
Yeah, would be very nice.
The good news is we're not having as many outages and not as much bad power, because those problems only happen when we're about above 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And since the temperatures are getting cooler, haven't had as many outages this week.
Yeah, so I mean, there's that, but we still want it fixed.
We still need it fixed, because otherwise
Excel.
the problem's going to be back next May. So yeah, we definitely need it fixed.
Yeah, so hopefully Excel kind of gets their game together. Real quick, there was a super chat that we missed. Bis Imogen? Maybe. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If I didn't, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
terrible at pronunciation.
$3.99.
Thank you so much for the $4 super chat.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's pretty much it for the news. Seatbelts off, so we're safe.
We can relax a little bit, but let us know if you have any
bit.
questions. We can continue with what we've talked about already, or if you have any new questions, if considering a new purchase, definitely drop it in the chat, and we'll try to get to your questions.
Yeah, there's a couple things I was gonna look back on. I saw a couple questions. Pablo asked if we were with Excel Energy. Yup. Unfortunately, I guess we'll say that. And then let's see. Somebody was asking, do we work for Tesla or are we ambassadors or something? They seem to be very in the know. We don't work for Tesla. We're not really ambassadors. They don't really pay us. So there were like referral prizes back in the day, but it's kind of dried up pretty much for now. But we've been fans of Tesla from before we even got some back in 20.
The first cars we got were 2016, but we've probably been years before that. We were Tesla fans.
Oh yeah. And so we follow a lot of Tesla news, and we have a lot of Tesla products. We've owned every single Tesla model with the exception of the original Roadster. Yeah. We actually have 2 S's, a 3, and a Y right now.
Currently, and we do have like Cybertruck on order and the Plaid Model S on order, and we should be getting Roadsters, the next gen Roadster, whenever they go into production.
Yep. So we are big Tesla fans. But thank you for joining. Let's see now. I see a bunch of questions coming in, so let's get to some of those. Diego said, "Hi guys, how long until non-FSD owners can get the UI?" So, I mean, I think this is just kind of a preview of what the new UI is going to look like for probably V11. So, I guess it's just a matter of time until they roll that out. I think anyone would get that, not tied to FSD or not. I think everyone would be getting the new UI, just to keep everything fresh. So, hopefully soon, because UI fixes normally aren't like super in depth. I guess it depends how much they tied it to FSD and how much they have to like roll stuff around. But hopefully soon. I think it's looked great. Let's see.
I want to bring up something.
Yep.
So today, there's only 2 days left to the election in the United States. Definitely get out there, vote, but please don't bring politics in tonight's chat. I see a lot of people throwing stuff out there. This is not the place. This is to talk about Tesla, talk about us, but we're not talking about the election tonight. So if you want to talk about that, please go somewhere else.
Yeah, it just we kind of made that rule a while back because on live streams people tend to attack each other.
Yeah.
And we just want this to be a fun place where we can all hang out. We all have our beliefs. I'm not going to fault anyone for that, but
if you want to go argue, please go argue someone said.
Yeah, go argue on Twitter. It's a great place to argue. But we're just going to hang out and talk Tesla stuff. If it relates to Tesla, we'll talk about it and go from there. Let's see. Victor was saying, can't believe you guys don't know about Xpeng yet. They're taking over Norway already. Yeah, so I am vaguely familiar with Xpeng. I guess we'll have to see how that works out.
Somebody brought that back a few chats ago. They brought that up. And it looked like a nice looking, wasn't that like a little SUV or something like that?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Here, I'll
there's
pull
nothing,
it up for everybody.
they have no, nothing in the United States yet, so that's why.
Yeah. So here is their.
Wow, but he's saying 27 sensors and 21 cameras. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's the Xpeng. That's their G3. I think they have a couple different models, and here's the P7.
And so were they out when you were in China last time looking at some of the other cars? Because I know that we've looked at Neo and some of the other cars in China, but we didn't have a chance to see Xpeng.
I don't believe I got a chance to see Xpeng. I'll have to look through my footage. I stopped and saw a ton of different smaller EV companies back then, and I'm sure they've gotten. But
it's cool to see the competition, and
we love competition.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's any. I haven't heard of this one, coming to the United States anytime soon. But wait, I think I have seen Xpeng in the past because I remember seeing that picture. That looked really similar to a Model S.
It did.
I mean, it's like they changed the tail lights, but if you look at the body, it's like I remember seeing that a while back. Yeah, but I haven't. Their new SUV though looks pretty different.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. So, we'll check it out as soon as we can. Let's see. Jeffrey Tripp said, my birthday's on the 4th. I'm a B28. I'm getting old. I mean, not really. but
Still younger
happy
than-
birthday.
Still younger than both of us.
28 is not that old.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Somebody brought up Lucid Airs. Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah.
But we did see the Lucid unveiling a couple weeks back. We haven't
Yep.
seen it in person yet, but that's a nice looking car, especially the interior. Definitely fancier than Tesla's interior. A few of the controls and stuff I didn't like, but overall I thought they were really nice interior, and it'd be cool to see when those do come out. But yeah, they're going to be a lot more expensive than the Model S at the higher end.
Yeah, definitely. And
Again,
then
it will be nice to have that competition though,
Oh yeah, competition is great.
and choice.
Yep. Let's see. Somebody asked, when is the Model S going to be updated in terms of the interior? I mean, we've been thinking it's going to be updated for like 2+ years.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer. Hopefully soon. I know we kind of sound like a broken record with that. I would say Plaid S at the very latest.
Yeah.
They have to do something extra to warrant that like $50,000 increase in cost, besides just being like, oh, it's a little faster.
That's what remains to be seen, because we're thinking maybe they'll hold out and we won't see anything major until the Plaid S comes out, but we know that that's about a year away, and I think they want to do something to stimulate sales before then, so maybe they will have a non-Plaid version but a refreshed S sometime next year. I don't know, but if that did come out, I would definitely consider it.
Yeah. Victor said Xpeng will contact you. They already
Oh, cool. Yeah.
They already I guess contacted E for Electric.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, Xpeng, you got my
Yeah, if
email?
they're listening, or if you have any contacts, sounds like somebody, you know a lot about it. Pass them our email address, and
Yeah,
we definitely would be
definitely.
interested to talk with them.
Yep. Let's see. Kumar said, from where did you steal this supercharger that's in your room? Actually, bought it on eBay. It's actually a real one.
Reveal V2 supercharger, really
Yeah.
hefty cable. I don't know, this probably weighs
Yeah.
about 12, 15 pounds here.
Yeah, but that actually, I built one for the garage because Tesla wouldn't sell me one, and I wanted one. And then this is actually one of their old store displays. So we actually have a video on it. I need to get like popular links and just throw them in the description. But there's a video. Someone actually found it by a dumpster when Tesla was remodeling one of their stores. They were throwing it away. So they grabbed it, put it on eBay, and next thing you know, I got it.
And the cool thing is we did a video of it when we got it. We took it all apart, and you can see all the insides, and it has all of the parts and stuff for a regular V2 supercharger. We don't have the other equipment that's necessary to actually make it a functional supercharger that could charge at 150 kilowatts, but it has all the, you can see where all the cabling is connected, and we could disconnect this cable. This, again, it's a hefty, like 12, 15 pound cable, so it's
crazy heavy.
a real supercharger. It just is not hooked up to the electric.
Yep. Inner Hype has a really good question here. Why do more motors mean more range and more speed in Teslas? Well, sorry, we got
some
stuff
echo
still
there.
following. So here's the thing. Normally with more motors, it allows you to have a very efficient motor for your long distance. That's where you're going to get your range. And it will also allow you to have a rear motor that's super powerful. But those are very energy hungry and will chew through your battery power very, very quickly.
And that's another thing too with the electric cars is they don't
Yeah.
typically have a transmission like you might have in a non-electric car. And so that's how they can kind of do that efficiency, like Eric said, is have one motor better for maybe slower speeds and one motor that's better for faster speeds.
Exactly. So that's what Tesla has done, is basically their rear motors tend to be, I mean, they'll use both their front and rear motors when accelerating and stuff like that, but the rear motor tends to be more powerful, and the front motor tends to be what will get you better range, stuff like that. And that's what a lot of actual car manufacturers are moving towards now. I see we got another super chat. Let me scroll down real quick. Thank you, Michael, for the $3. Said, why do you think the stock is tanking? The whole market's been down.
Yeah, exactly. And I saw Joshua mention that too. Everything was down last week. It's not just Tesla.
We're not going into the whole presidential stuff, but that's pretty much what's doing it.
But everything was down last week.
Everything.
Maybe in another week or two it'll go back up. We'll see. It's still go way up since the beginning.
I have my eyes on the prize for Tesla. I'll tell you this. I'm a Tesla investor. I own Teslas. Some of my stock I'm doing really good on.
Yeah.
Some of it I
Yeah.
bought and I've lost money
We
on.
kept buying. Yeah, I admit I bought some more after the split and
Yep.
stuff like that. I wish I would have waited a couple days, but I'm still ahead on most of my stock, so I'll say that.
I mean, my last purchase, I'm probably down like 10, 11 grand.
Yeah,
But
which could be
I'm
worse.
not, It could be
$100,000.
But I'm not really worried about the short term.
Long term, Tesla's going to do great. Yeah.
All I'm looking, and the reason I invest in Tesla is long term. I'm not a short term investor on Tesla.
And we're not like day traders. We don't buy it and resell it, stuff like that. We're investing in it. We believe in it.
Yep. So yeah, great question though. But yeah, the whole market's just been all over the place.
See, Jeffrey brought up when we were talking about supercharger. He said we could connect it to a 1450 outlet, and that's kind of what we had. Eric built a fiberglass shell. It looks exactly like this. We have it in the garage. You can look for some pictures. But basically, that's what he did before we had this one, and we hooked it into a wall connector. Actually, we put it into a 1450, and we just used the mobile connector, and we ran the cable through it, and it has that thin cable. And in the garage right now, we have an Elon Musk signature wall connector, and it's mounted on the side so we can see that, but we still have the cabling coming into the back of the fiberglass wall connector in the garage, and that's what Eric uses to charge his car every day. So it looks like he's supercharging the garage, but it's only charging it up to like 48 amps, not the 150 that a V2 would be capable of. So he's got a picture here showing his decked out Model 3, and you can see this is the fiberglass supercharger shell and the Elon Musk signature wall connector right next to it there. And then, so it's Model 3 on the left, and then we've got a Model Y on the right there.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's half of the garage. The other half has 2 S's in it.
Yeah, but that supercharger is the one I built when Tesla wouldn't sell me one.
Yeah.
But it seems like a lot of people have commented, and they want that turned into a drink dispenser.
Oh, yeah.
So I have been researching. We are trying to make this happen for everybody. I'm trying to figure out how to do this, but I want to make that into like a drink dispenser.
Or something, yeah.
That'd be so dope. Yeah. Think about it.
But it's cool because it does still light up, as you can see at the top there. It when it was on the store
White
display.
balance is a little off, but it does.
But you can see it does light up there.
Yeah. Now let's see. Ash said, what's new in the 2021 Model 3? Okay, this is a great question. So, one, Chrome Delete is officially a thing, much like Model Y. Yeah. There's a new center console. It kind of looks very S and X-like, but what's weird is the Y doesn't have that yet. I have no idea what Tesla's thinking, doing, none of that really. But if you look here, if we go to the interior, you can see the charging pad no longer has a door, and this is a sliding door. So I think those are like the biggest changes.
Well, and also the heat pump.
But the heat pump.
So that's going to help with better range.
So those are
heating,
the big things that you'll see.
Yeah.
But there's the heat pump. There's the double pane glass, which
or laminated glass,
laminated, which also is now on Model Y. I have pictures from people that went to the factory and took those. So that's also on Y.
Also, it's got, they changed the chemistry of the batteries recently. I think it was in September, so that helps increase the range a little bit. But also, they're doing some other changes. They're always coming out with new revisions of the motors, and that helps. That's now the Model 3 can get like over 353 miles of range, I think, on the long range.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so
there's a lot of little things again, nothing huge. I think the power trunk as well is one.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they're
the power
bringing
trunk.
that to the 3 was missing that previously.
Yep. So there's a couple big things. I think it's considered a refresh in my book.
Yeah, it's nice to refresh it a little bit because they hadn't really changed much other than like the seats and a couple other things, very minor over the past couple of years.
Yeah. 7Dev said Tesla Model 3 owner since June. Congratulations. Just ordered a Model Y today.
Oh, great.
Another congratulations. Yeah. That's awesome. What's your go-to accessory you'd suggest for Y?
Oh, I know. He's gonna say the matte screen protector.
So I love the screen. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love the screen, but I hate the glare. We get a lot of sun here in Colorado, and the glare off that thing drives me crazy. I hate fingerprints on screens. I'm looking at my cell phone right now. It's got a lot of fingerprints on it, so that's kind of making me upset. I don't like either of those. So funny you ask, our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean, actually does sell a matte screen protector. And I've actually used those on every single Tesla we have owned. Our S's, the X, the 3s, the Ys. Absolutely love it. And they have a new install method that installs super easily. But since it's matte, it gets rid of the glare. or at least helps remove a ton of it. And since it's matte, it really helps reduce fingerprints.
Hey,
So,
Rob Stack brought up too that the self-dimming mirrors are back. So that's
Oh,
something
yeah,
that was on the
self-dimming
3,
mirrors.
wasn't on the Y, either one of the Ys that we purchased,
Yep.
and now it is coming back to
Yep.
both the 3 and the Y, it sounds like.
yeah. So, yeah. But if you are looking for any accessories, Abstract Ocean, you can get 15% off with code Tesla Inventory. And they recently redid their website. So if you use the code at one time, you can now use it again
Ooh, nice.
with the new website. So, yeah, definitely check them out. Let's see. Jeffrey said, buy one of Dan What's Inside Roadsters.
He's got a couple.
I mean, last I talked to him, he wasn't, I don't think, selling them. But I don't really know I want one of the original Roadsters because they can't supercharge.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me is it would be hard to do
Yeah.
road trips on those. I mean, you can do it, but it takes a lot longer because you have to find other outlets that aren't superchargers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna speed round a few questions so we can get through some of these real quick. Any word on Model Y single motor coming out? I haven't heard
I
anything
don't know,
about
yeah,
that.
Elon did mention a while back that like the 7-seater was supposed to be coming out in December, but we haven't heard much about the single motor one yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that. Joseph said, any speculation as to the next market for Tesla insurance? Hopefully Colorado.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, no. I think it's only available in California still.
I think there's still
Are there
is
a
it-
handful of
I don't
others?
know. I'm thinking of something else, but I thought they were in more
Okay.
than one state. But
Either
unfortunately,
way,
not
it
here.
would be nice if we could get it in Colorado so I could try it out. Let's see. James said, I'm scheduled to pick up my Model Y long range on November 7th. Been in the 64,000 range. So excited. This is my first Tesla moving from a Mercedes diesel SUV. No more dead dinosaur juice for me. Congratulations,
Great,
James. Hopefully you enjoy that Model Y. They're
Hey,
amazing.
Here's one, Scotty. Remember, Scotty said he sent you a question, or he had a question about power walls and stuff a couple weeks back. Did you ever check the email, or did you get that email from him? So he said he never heard back.
I don't think I got that email. If you could resend that, that would be great.
So yeah, and it's just admin@teslainventory.com.
Yeah.
But we'll check the mailbox, but
Yeah.
and double check on that.
Yep. Let's see. Mace, welcome, Mace.
Hey,
welcome
hello again.
back. I said the beta UI looks like a developer mode. Elon was asked if we could choose to keep that UI via settings, and he said that's possible.
Oh.
Yeah. So like all the dots and everything can be a little bit overwhelming maybe
Yeah.
in the boxes, but I really like the general UI now of how basically they got rid of like the mirror control and all that on the left side for like Model 3 and Y. And so the car, your visualization is actually a lot bigger.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if
Same thing with S similar.
if they had an option. I think they'd still need to clean up the display a little bit. So maybe not totally developer mode as it now. But
Yeah.
they could add a lot of what's being displayed, but also have it so you can toggle it on and off. Because some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it. So they need to have an on-off switch so that you can choose.
Yeah, exactly. Otis said, have you heard of anyone that had their car totaled and got the full price of FSD back from their insurance? 10K is a lot to pay. So this is kind of an issue. If your car is totaled, they're going to go off the price you paid, not the price it is now. So that being said, you're probably going to be out that money.
I don't know. I saw some people saying it depends on your insurance company.
True.
Because I've seen people discussing this, and some people say if it shows up like on your Mulroney sticker, then it was on the car when you purchased it, and then that's included in the price of the car. But it's a little more iffy if you buy the car and you decide to add full self-driving later, because it's not going to be listed there as being standard equipment with the car.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But that's something. That's a big chunk of change. You don't want to lose that. So you definitely, if there is some question about that, check with your insurance company and point it out that you've paid for it or you've added on, and then they could make sure you're covered for that. And
Definitely.
that's something though that we discussed in the video last week too, when we were talking about subscriptions for full self-driving. We were wondering, can we transfer that license? Because imagine if you buy a car, you drive it off the lot, and it gets totaled. You don't want to lose that $10,000. You want to be able to transfer it. It would be nice if Tesla would allow you to transfer that to another car.
Definitely, especially in the event of the car being totaled.
Yeah,
It's like-
and you think that
that's
would
like
be a
an
goodwill gesture if
Yeah.
something like that happened. You don't want people going and crashing their cars on purpose, but it would be nice if they saw that. Oh yeah, you just crashed your brand new car or your 1-year-old car or whatever. We'll go ahead and roll it into the price of the next one. But
Yeah.
that's wishful thinking.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I agree with you. Joseph said, how often do you guys live stream? Normally it's every weekend. Normally it's Sundays. Sometimes it's Saturdays. And sometimes we do during the week for special events.
Yeah, we usually do like the earnings calls, or we recently did like the Lucid Air unveiling and the Hummer EV one. So we'll do it. And some of them are longer than others, some of them are better than others, but we all have fun chatting with you guys.
Yep. Max O'Connor said, about to order a Model Y Performance. Congrats. What color scheme would you guys recommend like the most? So we're very partial to the white interior because it just looks so clean.
It's very unique too. You don't see that on a lot of other cars.
It is. And as far as the exterior, I kind of like the white exterior, but if it depends what you're planning to do with the car. If you're planning on wrapping it, the black is going to be the best actually. But I will say I've seen some red exterior, white interior, and blue exterior, white interior, and those looked really nice too. Just be careful though with the white interior. If you decide to tint your windows, you're going to want to do a darker tint because that white is so reflective. You'll be able to see in the car if you just do like your normal typical tint, like if you would have had like black seats. So you'll want to go a little darker probably. Let's see.
Michael Tavares was saying the Hummer unveiling was a waste of time. Yeah, it was a waste of our lives too. We waited for that, and then they just showed like a 5-minute video, and it was all CGI. We were really disappointed with the Hummer EV. And then when we tried to go and reserve one, there was no button to submit the form, so we couldn't reserve one.
I tried it later on my phone, and the button showed up.
It was a big fail. It was very disappointing.
At that point, I was just
it's a cool car, and the price, while it initially looks expensive because it's more than the Cybertruck, it's actually not that bad if you compare it to the price of what the Model S was a couple of years ago. So if they can bring it out in the next year at that price, they'll probably sell a bunch of them.
Yeah. Aaron said, did you put a pre-order for the Lucid Air? I know you did one for the other EV, then canceled later. So Lucid, I'll tell you this: I don't have any pre-orders for any other car besides Tesla's right now. Looked at the Porsche Taycan. I just had a lot of issues with the dealer by me, and I just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
so I canceled that one.
And with Jaguar too, we tried going in there. We went to the guy, and the guy that was supposed to help with EVs, is it the iPace or ePace? I can't remember. iPace. We gave them all our information. They never called us back, and we're there, in a brand new Model X, and they won't sell us a Jaguar. And it's like,
wow. And it's not like I was just like messing with them. I legitimately was ready to plunk down cash for a car, and they just wouldn't do it. So whatever their rationale reason is, I don't know. I just don't want to deal with it.
But as we said earlier, we've seen all kinds of Eric went and saw the Neo and stuff when he was in China. We test drove the Karma Rivero. Was that it? And that was a cool car. Very nice, very stylish, very sexy. But that was not a totally EV one.
Exactly.
But they did say they're coming out with a total EV version, and we will be invited to drive that one. And we were looking forward to that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, actually, one thing we forgot to talk about today. I thought I put it in here. Maybe I didn't. Elon was talking about Giga Texas today on Twitter, and said it will be an ass kicker. Hopefully, I don't get banned on YouTube for saying that. There's some back and forth talk with different people on Twitter, and he basically said updated photos of the changes to Cybertruck, will be shown in a month or so, Tesla time.
That'll be interesting to see. We're looking forward to that.
I'm very much looking forward to that. I forgot that. So thank you.
It'd be cool if they add a lot of the features, because a lot of people have been tweeting Elon saying, "Can you add this? Can you add like ventilation for the bed or this or that?" So it'd be cool if they actually have, redone it and added that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited to see what comes up. Let's see. Where have we gone?
I see Tracy.
A lot of people loving that white interior, though.
Yeah, I see Tracy Prell is asking. She said she just got a 2020 Model Y Performance with a manufacturer date of July 10th, and she was asking if 2020.40.8 brings the range increase, or was it just for the long range? Well, on ours, we have a performance one as well, built about a month earlier. We didn't get a range increase, and we were kind of surprised, because some other people said they did. But again, like you said, that was only on the long range one, so I don't know when the cutoff was to get additional range on the performance version.
Yeah,
might have been later when, towards September, when they did change the battery chemistry just a little bit.
Exactly. Chagog said, "Does full self-driving transfer if I sell the vehicle?"
Unfortunately, not. Well,
yes,
it depends.
So if you trade in the car to Tesla It is really up to them on whether or not they want to keep full self-driving with it or not. It's kind of up to them. Now, if you sell it private party, full self-driving transfers with the vehicle. Now, if you are looking to buy a used Tesla and it is from a third-party company, not Tesla, not a private individual, but like another car dealer or something, I would confirm that it transfers, because the big case I'm thinking you might be referencing here is somebody bought a car with FSD from a dealer, and the dealer had bought it at an auction that Tesla put it in because it was like a trade-in vehicle, and it was supposed to have FSD removed from it, but it didn't. And then they or autopilot, and then they removed it at a later date, and it caused this big ruckus. I would just be careful, but if you're selling it to a private party, it does.
Yeah, and one thing you can do, you can check like the software screen. I think it's like additional information, and that will show you if it has a full self-driving computer, and I believe it will show you if you have, or you can also go to the other screens for autopilot and see the full self-driving options right there.
Now, if you're asking, does it transfer to a new car if I sell my current one and buy a new one? No.
That's what we're wishing for, because we've spent a lot of money.
Or at least some kind of discount or something.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Hopefully we get something. Let's see here. Gary said, I agree with Matthew. FSD for personal use should be less than 10K. I might use it once or twice a year on a long trip. The FSD option is not worth 10K just to use it twice a year.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about that last week too. And it's just like, again, it would be nice if they broke it down kind of like a la carte or smaller package prices, because most people probably don't want to spend the $10,000, or if it's going to be more than that, they don't want to spend that much.
I mean, especially in this situation right now where a lot of people are working from home and not even driving.
Yeah.
I've actually had a lot of friends that have reached out to me and been like, hey, I'm looking to sell my car. I don't go into the office anymore. I work from home, and they've told us we're not going back in the office anymore, so I don't need the extra car or whatever.
That's the thing,
like
though.
that.
If it was $10,000 and it could totally drive itself, then maybe a lot of families could get by with fewer cars. They could only have one. Oh wow, looks like we have a special guest here.
We have a trick-or-treater here.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you. Well, you got to switch cameras there, Eric.
There's that. Thank you.
It seems that the
trick or treat. Thank you.
I thought Halloween was yesterday, but hey, we have a special guest here today.
The dogs are very interested in this.
How festive!
Yes, very, very, very festive and very timely.
And I got a big Kit Kat. We still have. We always have. Whenever we do have trick or treaters, we always give away full-size candy bars. So
yeah, but we didn't have trick or treaters this year, and instead they came dressed and gave us candy.
Look at that.
Let's see. Where was I? I totally lost my spot when I saw him out of the corner of my eye. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Michael has a good question. In an autonomous head-on collision, who wins, Cybertruck or the Super Truck from Hummer? I mean, we all know this. Cybertruck. With its steel and everything. Love it, though. Let's see. Thoughts on buying a used Model 3 long-wheel drive with FSD for around 40 to 43K with under 40,000 miles. Good value, or go with a new Model 3 and no FSD for 47K.
Wow.
I mean, that's
at that price, it's pretty close. I would probably just go for the new one.
Well, I mean, that's no full self-driving for 47,000.
Oh, okay, because that would increase the price.
It'd basically be 57,000 for the same thing. They could get 41 to 43. I would get a used one.
That's what's interesting nowadays, is since they keep raising the price, that's kind of keeping some of the older cars' value up.
Exactly. Well, at least helping keep them up from price drops.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure.
And we have a Model 3 that we're going to be selling eventually, but it's nice that people can get all those extra features, and the car hasn't changed. You know, the latest ones, 2021 ones, will have a few changes, the heat pump, like we discussed earlier. But up until 2019, 2018, those cars are almost the same.
Yeah. Let me see here. Advanced Wiggle Plays said, David, does the 2020 Tesla Model X have the best safety out of all Teslas? Is it the X or the S?
Yeah, I didn't think it was the X. I mean, they're all.
They're basically all right up top.
I'd have to look and see. I haven't. I'd have to research that. Sorry, but they're all very safe.
Joseph says, I don't see the subscription costing anything less than $200 a month. I agree. I actually think it's going to be closer to like 250, maybe with a minimum term requirement. I don't know. I really think it's going to be a lot more than people.
And that's
are
a lot of
thinking.
money for a monthly subscription. It's just, yeah. I would rather
Yeah.
they do like kind of like we talked about with like a rent to own or something where you could roll it into the loan.
Well, they do that in China.
Yeah,
It's basically
yeah.
rent to own.
Yeah.
So that would be really nice. Let's see. Chagog said, getting my Y on Thursday. Use your referral. Excited. Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Congrats on
Who
your
was
Y.
that? Their name?
Chagog. If you want to email me, and just double check, that'd be fine too. Let me see here. I'm trying to see.
But they said they're getting a referral.
They said they used our referral. Cool. I'm just trying to see who it could possibly be because the username obviously doesn't match. I'll look later. Anyway, feel free to email me if you have any questions or anything. Happy to help. And thank you so much for the support. Grady said, hey guys, do you mind sharing your opinion on the previous question? Let me find your previous question.
Yeah,
Grady.
I was looking.
Sorry.
I didn't scroll up far enough to see it.
I'm looking. Or if it's easier, they probably... If you have to type it out, I apologize. I have a second-gen wall connector and I have a second-gen wall connector and first-gen. Do you think it's worth upgrading all of them to the third-gen?
No.
And add a fourth?
No. No. Currently, no. Because there have been a lot of problems with the third generation wall connector. A lot of people are having overheating issues and they're complaining to Tesla. Tesla sends them another one and then they have the problem again like a month later. And Tesla has been issuing a lot of like software updates and they're still having problems. So right now, the second generation wall connector is the one to get. And the second generation wall connector, as you probably know, we have 3 of them in our garage and they're all linked together. So it does help with load balancing. Third generation will probably allow that eventually, but it's going to be a wireless form of load balancing if they ever release it. I mean, those have been out for quite a while now, and they still haven't upgraded the software to allow load balancing for charging multiple cars if you have multiple wall connectors. Another thing about the second generation wall connector is that if you have an older Tesla that can charge at up to 72 or 80 amps, those older wall connectors will be able to charge that fast, whereas the new wall connector, third generation, can only charge up to 48 amps. That does mean you're going to have a thinner cable, a little bit lighter, but I think that might be what's causing some of those overheating problems is the cable or maybe some of the electronics on the inside. And so we definitely like our second generation ones, and we see no reason to upgrade at this time.
Exactly.
And the thing is too, the second generation one, it can be upgraded, the software, if necessary. It gets upgraded by plugging it into your Tesla. Basically, the software update would come to your car, and then that would send the update to the wall connector. The third generation one can be upgraded via Wi-Fi, so it's maybe a little more obvious, but don't think that a second generation one can't be upgraded, because it can.
Yeah, exactly. Diego said, did you guys see the portable EV charger on Shark Tank? Of course, I love Shark Tank. I actually looked into the company to be like, yo, is this something like we could do a video on? I don't know.
It's cool. We thought it was cool, but it didn't have a huge capacity. You saw they had to have multiple units to be able to.
And it was crazy expensive.
Yeah, and it's a neat idea, but I can't. We've never like ran out of charge, except for the time when you were driving the Model 3.
We did it on purpose.
For over 600 miles,
yeah,
intentionally to go as far as you could to drain the battery. But the software is very good at accurately telling you how much charge you have left. So I don't think people have as much a reason to run out of charge. It's nice to have those options, but if you think of a company wanting to invest in that technology and have a bunch of trucks all around a city or a state, that's going to cost a ton of money. And I don't see the need really being there because you're not going to have thousands of people running their car dead every day. Because another thing with electricity, you can go anywhere and plug in. If you're in an emergency, there's public chargers or superchargers, or even if you're in a non-Tesla, there's enough public chargers. I think you should be able to find a place to plug in.
Most definitely.
But it was a cool product, but I think a little too expensive.
Didn't Mark Cuban invest in that? Like $500,000 or something like that?
Yeah, I remember, it was a few weeks back, but he seemed really excited about it.
Mark Cuban, I would like to go on Shark Tank and have you invest in me because I'm awesome.
Yeah, me too.
And I like Tesla. There's my pitch, guys. How do you think I'll do? Let's see. Robert said, I'm curious how Tesla will handle cleanings for their robo-taxis. What happens if someone throws up? This is why I don't want my car to be in the robo-taxi fleet. I don't trust... I have trust issues with people when it comes to treating my stuff as I would treat it.
I suppose.
And I just don't.
Yeah, but I suppose there would probably be, if it can drive itself, you can send it someplace and they can clean it, so you don't have to deal with that. And then you can charge the cleanup fee to, whoever rode in it. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to renting ours out on that.
No. I mean, I would love to, but if I rented a car out on that, it wouldn't be one I would drive.
Yeah.
Probably ever. It would be one that I bought just for that, and I would never see it at all.
Wouldn't want to see scratches or dings or little...
Scratches, dings, people like kicking the back of the seats, I just don't... People don't treat cars the same way, and I treat my cars very, very well. I treat friends' cars very, very well. I treat my parents' cars very, very well. And some people, if it's not theirs, they just treat it like crap. And I would have a huge problem with that.
Oh, and I'm going to follow up. Grady asked again about those wall connectors, and if one would work better or than the other with solar. Shouldn't make any difference, because once they're connected, it's receiving that same power from your solar panels or from the grid. So yeah, it shouldn't have to worry about second versus third gen. But again, the second gen can only charge at second gen can go at up to 80 amps. If you have the right wiring in your garage or your house, but the third gen can only go up to 48, which is fine if you have a Model 3, Model Y, or a newer car. Only goes up to 48 anyways. But the nice thing about having those is if you do have an older car, you can charge a lot faster.
Definitely. Steven has a question. Given Model 3 just got a bit of a refresh, and it's around the same price as Model Y, if you were buying a new car right now, would you get a long-range Model 3 or a long-range Model Y? Well, it kind of depends on your situation, but I'm just going to say Y.
Y, yeah, I think I would agree on Y as well.
The Y gives you more utility feature with the hatch the way it is. It's more room.
Yeah, because you can fold down the seats, tons of room in the hatchback. They will have the automatic trunk on the newer Model 3s, but you're still going to have the little shelf or whatever there above. You can fold the seats down, but that you're still going to be really limited as to tall stuff that you could fit back into that trunk opening. But it was weird. Somebody the other day said they thought the Model 3 was much more comfortable, but I was going to have to disagree on that, because the Model Y is higher up, so it's easier to get in and out of, and the second row seats there's probably 4 or 5 more inches of leg room in the second row, and the visibility, you're higher up on the road, so it's better. I know the Model 3, people like to zoom around, and it's maybe a little more connected to the road, but I think the Model Y is what I would choose.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. So we actually have the winner of the Model Y for kids up in chat. Welcome. He said, thanks for sending the pictures of your Model Y with the TSS wheels. I got mine in gloss black and shared pics of my Model Y with you. Nice. Awesome. I don't see them in our Instagram chat, but I'll look at your page afterwards. But congrats. I absolutely love the TSS. We have them on the Y. We have them on the S. We've had them on the 3. They're great.
So they're from T-Sport line. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. The TSS wheels are from T-Sport line. They kind of look like the Arachnids, but they come in pretty much any size you could ever want, which is really nice.
And the cool thing, T-Sport line has all kinds of wheels that look really similar to the original OEM Tesla wheels, but you
have a lot of extra perks.
But you can get it in any size and on any vehicle. So
colors.
Yeah, and colors. A lot more choice. Yeah. And the cool thing too is they usually use the same center cap as the Tesla wheels, so you can actually use the Tesla center cap on those. But yeah, so they have the TSS, which look like Arachnids. They have TSV, which look like the Uber turbines. They have the TS5, which looks like the new Model 3 referral wheels. So they just have a ton of choices, all different colors, all different sizes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
And they're a lot cheaper than the Tesla wheels as well.
Exactly. I just like how I can do whatever size meets my need. I love the Arachnid look, but I hate the 21-inch size. So actually on Model S, we have their 19-inch. And that way we get a lot bigger tire. We can run all seasons on the S and not have to worry about it.
And it's a lot quieter, and knock on wood, I don't have any wood right here, but I've never had a flat in that car. But on one of our other cars that has larger wheels, it has had 4 or 5 flats over the past 3 years. So definitely the 19-inch is working well for me.
Yup. Let me see here. I was trying to pull this up real quick. Josh had a question saying thoughts on installing your own HEPA filter.
Oh yeah.
For the 3 or Y. Will Tesla do it for you at delivery if you bring it in? Unfortunately, Tesla won't do that.
Yeah.
But I've used the Abstract Ocean HEPA filter on 3s and Ys, and it's actually not that hard to do yourself. I was trying to find that video real quick. I'll look for it and throw it in chat. But But it's not that hard.
Yeah, and it's about a lot better than the standard filters. It's still not going to be up to the level of the weapon defense mode that's available in the S or X, but it's definitely an improvement over the standard filters that come with the 3 or the Y.
Yeah, the test we did, I actually used not cigarettes, yikes. Matches outside the car by the air intake, and we had a ppm meter, like particle, I have it over here, it's like a particle meter, and had that in the cabin, and it really helped. It made a massive difference. So I'll try to find that video and drop it in chat real quick. Let's see. Trying to see where we
There's a lot of chat going on. Sorry, we're not able to get to every question, but we're trying.
Thank you though for people answering other people's questions. I absolutely love that. Everyone just like helps out. It's so awesome.
Yeah, because there's a lot of we're pretty much experts, I think, on Tesla. We don't know everything, but we do have a lot of answers to a lot of questions. But it's nice to have some people help us out, and it's nice that we have some new people here as well that do. They are curious and they're trying to get some questions answered. And this is a nice way. Join us whenever we have a live stream, and you can hopefully get your questions answered.
Definitely. So I found the video for the HEPA filter from Abstract Ocean, and I just dropped that into chat. You can go ahead and check that out. And I kind of go over how you change it, I believe, in that video. God, I hope so, because I just dropped it in chat. Let me see here. Okay, I did. Because that would be funny if I just...
Or if you did some other...
My short video. Yeah, maybe I'll drop that in chat. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions or anything.
I see Tracy just sent a super chat.
Did it... I don't know if our alert popped up.
It's probably just delayed slightly.
Did it?
There you go.
There we go. Thank you so much, Tracy, for the $5. Said drive 20 miles weekly, charge battery to 80, then set charge level to 55. Leave plugged in every day, but only charge once a week. Is that okay? Definitely. So you've been doing something very similar on your S.
Yeah, basically, over the years it's kind of changed. When I had my first Model S back in 2016, 2017, I typically only charged that car once a week because I had free charging at work, but I didn't want to block the charger at work every day. So I would, on Fridays, would charge my car there once a week. Had very little degradation. With my current car, it's an S100D 2017, and I used to charge that every day when I drove to work, but since March I haven't really been driving to work, so I just leave it at home. I lowered the charge level to about 50-60%, depends on if I'm going anywhere, and works fine that way. It will top off itself every few days or so if it needs to add a few miles, but it's not going to hurt the battery at all, and the batteries like to stay more to that center level, but it doesn't hurt if you charge it up to 90. That's what Tesla tells you to do. I think they want you to have that full range available, but since I know I'm not going anywhere and we have other cars, I just leave it at 50, and we still have almost no degradation on that car. So it's 3.5, almost 4 years old, and we've probably only lost like less than 8 miles worth of range on that battery. So it definitely doesn't hurt. And
like my Model 3, Model 3s are a little bit, and Ys are a little bit different than the S and X chemistry-wise.
And the BMS.
Yeah, but like my race car Model 3, I've driven it like I've stolen it. It's been around the world, literally. It's been supercharged many times, and it has maybe 1 or 2 miles decrease.
Yeah,
it's basically nothing.
And another thing,
no degradation.
Another thing too is that we do sometimes we do take the car and we'll try to drain it down, to like 20%, 15%, something like that, and then we will charge it up to 100% if we are going on a road trip, and that lets the battery management system or monitoring system see the full range of the battery and get a better estimate of how much range is available in the battery.
Yeah, I would definitely say the sweet spot is probably between like 60 to 80%. That being said, though, I mean, 50 to 90 shouldn't be hurting it.
Yeah, so I think
the biggest thing is you don't want to leave your car probably 30%, maybe 20% and under
for too long.
Too long, or 100 or like 95 to 100% too long. Those extreme edge cases that can actually do damage.
Yeah.
But that actually kind of goes for like your cell phone and stuff like that too. I've noticed that with some of my other cell phones that I kept on the charger a lot more. The battery would just not last very long when I took it off. Let's see. There's one question here. Somebody asked about the center console in Model Y and when it would get the 3 console. I find it very weird that the Model 3 has it on Tesla's website and the Model Y still has the original. I don't understand that. My guess would have been they would change them over at the same time.
Yeah, but you never know. It's probably because they probably ordered a few thousand or whatever from the manufacturer, and they basically know they have enough to cover the Model 3, but not the Y yet. So probably in the coming month, they're gonna be switching it over on the Y as well.
Yeah.
You know, once they get the next batch in, or the commitment from the manufacturer to build those new consoles and be able to generate that quantity.
Exactly.
Because you wouldn't want to do half of the 3s and half the Ys, and some people get old, some people new.
For sure.
This way, they focus on one, and when they get the next batch in, they'll probably do it on the Y.
For sure, 100%. But I don't know. I think that might actually end it. We're going to go finish up the Mandalorian, season 2. We're gonna start the Mandalorian.
Yes, it just premiered this weekend.
I'm getting kind of hungry. It feels like it's like 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah, we haven't done dinner yet. Yeah.
Haven't even eaten dinner yet. But really appreciate all you guys hanging out. And huge thanks to all you guys who did super chats. Really appreciate you guys. And watch rebuilds.
Well, thanks again
for the $100 super chat. I think that's like our biggest super chat.
Do we have his address? Yeah, we have his address. He's a really great guy. He sent us some stickers and stuff for charge. We need to thank him one of these days.
I think that is our biggest super chat. So claps in chat for everyone's super chat, and thank you guys. Super chat is not a requirement. It's really appreciated, but really appreciate all you guys hanging out with us and chatting with us. We will be doing this again next weekend. Hopefully we have a little bit more news, but I actually kind of liked the amount of news we had today because it gave us some more time to chat with you guys. So always love that. Quick plug though for our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. They helped us bring this new camera, so we have the camera staying in here. If you guys are looking to accessorize your Model SX3 or Y, definitely check them out and use code Tesla Inventory. Will get you 15% off of your first purchase. They have so many fun accessories to really make your Tesla your own. I always talk about the center console wrap. I really love that, as well as that matte screen protector. So definitely check them out and show them some love. I really appreciate them. But as always, we will see you guys next week. If you haven't already, definitely smash that thumbs up button. We really appreciate that. And we will see you all in 7 days.
Bye.
Bye.